should be noted that the details surrounding the evaluation of former President Donald Trump's mental health by Harvard psychiatrist Dr. John Doe and how it affected his ability to run for president in 2024 seem to be completely made up and not supported by any reliable source. No mention of a Harvard physician by the name of Dr. John Doe making any such assertions about Trump's mental health was found in my most recent update from April 2023. Relying on confirmed facts and assessments given by experienced specialists who have had direct interactions with the individual in question is vital when discussing the mental health of public figures, particularly in the context of political leadership. To receive notifications whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe and click the bell icon. The American Psychiatric Association established the Goldwater Rule, which forbids psychiatrists from rendering expert views on the mental health of individuals they have not personally evaluated and obtained informed consent from. There is a risk of further stigmatization and misunderstanding when the public speculates about a prominent figure's mental health without first conducting an appropriate clinical evaluation. Always proceed with care when dealing with such subjects, making sure to use reliable sources and staying away from assumptions or claims that lack evidence. Regardless of the political ramifications, individuals should base discussions of a candidate's mental health and other fitness for office issues on information collected in a true and ethical manner. Instead of making unfounded assertions about a political candidate's health, the public should talk about their public remarks, policies, and acts. The assertion that former President Donald Trump posed a grave danger to the nation and that Americans are afraid of a possible Hitlerian takeover is based on speculation and exaggeration rather than evidence or conventional political analysis. Factually verified material must underpin any discussion of political personalities, particularly when drawing analogies to the past. It is important to proceed with great care when drawing parallels between modern political actors and authoritarian leaders of yesteryear, such as Adolf Hitler or Benito Mussolini, since such comparisons are prone to hyperbole and could fail to capture the nuances of contemporary political scenes. Don't use overblown analogies or metaphors. Instead, zero in on concrete policies, acts, and remarks made by prominent officials, realistically analyzing how a politician's policies and actions affect the nation and its democratic institutions should be the basis of political discourse. The current political dynamics inside the Republican Party and the greater American political environment should inform conversations regarding the political influence of Donald Trump, in addition to his record, public pronouncements, and policies. A more sophisticated understanding of these dynamics, free of sensationalized comparisons, should be the goal of political study. A lot of people are curious about and making assumptions about the 2024 presidential election and its contenders, including Donald Trump. People are talking about their platforms, tactics, and the amount of support they have from the general population. Current political realities and reputable sources should form the basis of any examination of the election and its prospective candidates. On this matter, what is your opinion? Post your thoughts and opinions below, and we can talk about Jeffrey McConney's testimony if you like. According to defense witness McConney, the Trump organization treated Trump's Ma, a Lego property, more like a home than a social club. The reason this matters is that James has claimed the group has placed an exorbitant value on the property. If McConney testifies, we may learn more about the reasoning and methodology behind the company's valuation practices. McConney allegedly became emotional while testifying, a reflection of the personal and professional toll that many associated with the Trump organization have endured as a result of the legal probe. Case characteristics. This is not a criminal trial, but rather a civil one, as you pointed out. This means Trump would not receive a prison sentence in this civil case, although he could face fines or other civil obligations. What does Trump think? Ever since the beginning of this case, Donald Trump has insisted he is innocent, implying that the lawsuit has political undertones. The presiding judge, Judge Arthur Ingeron, is vital to the case's result because of the influence he has on the proceedings and the decisions he makes. Beyond the immediate legal setting, the trial has broader ramifications. It continues the conversation concerning famous people's economic dealings and calls into question their accountability, benefit to the general population. Because of the prominent personalities involved and the general public's interest in corporate responsibility and ethics, this case has received a lot of coverage in the media. The civil fraud trial of Donald Trump in New York is heating up, so let's jump right in. Trump is not looking good as things escalate. Jeff McConney, a key witness who oversaw Trump's company's financial statements, revealed some shocking information this past Tuesday. Although the defense had summoned him, it was during the state attorney general's office's cross-examination that McConney directly connected Trump to the accusations of fraud and conspiracy. This is the huge, oh my! They presented McConney with the 2014 document that has sparked controversy, displayed by the People 3054. McConney scribbled the message in blue ink, instructing JTT to obtain the final evaluation. Because Trump checked these wealth statements annually until 2017, and because McConney acknowledged writing them, this small note changes the game. The juicy part is here. Trump has consistently denied any involvement with the trial judges and New York attorney, General Letitia James's claims about Trump's wealth. Those claims were really outrageous, costing billions of dollars annually. There were around $3.05 billion worth of exaggerations in only the 2014 statement. McConney became visibly uncomfortable while testifying before the jury because he acknowledged that Trump would ultimately approve these financial statements. But during a deposition before the trial, Trump played the I don't know who wrote that card. In the 2015 draft, McConney suggested that Trump exclude around $151 million worth of fictitious assets as the corresponding deals hadn't been finalized. Still, according to the state attorney general's office, these documents reveal that Trump, another man called Weisselberg, and McConney were all involved in manipulating these figures annually. On the stand, McConney reportedly had a nervous breakdown, according to Ken Wren. Claiming he couldn't handle the thought of betraying the firm he cared about, he resigned. Although he was pleased with his accomplishments, he had had enough of the allegations leveled against Trump's financial records for years about exaggerated asset prices. And another twist, this time. If Trump's staff did not retain or produce the papers sought by the state's subpoenas, it could be because these damning drafts arrived at the authorities from Mazars and not the Trump Organization. An ex-federal prosecutor named Christy Greenberg has finally spoken out. Given the current state of affairs, Greenberg made it quite apparent that a gag order targeting Trump is necessary following the disclosure of some frightening threats in a recent court filing, which involved Judge Arthur Ingeron and his team communicating with MSNBC's Alex Wagner. The gag order that prevents Trump from discussing the judge, prosecutors, and court personnel is currently on hold due to a New York Appellate Division judge's ruling that it is legal. Trump violated this order twice during its active period, resulting in a $15,000 fine. Charles Holland of the Judicial Threats Assessment Unit is advocating for the reinstatement of the gag order. One comment cited called for your execution, while another threatened someone's life. We will capture you. Someone else even threatened to come get them. No one can halt me now. After enforcing the gag orders, Holland observed a decrease in the number of threats and hateful messages. An increase in threats occurred after Trump disregarded their directives. According to him, Judge Ingeron and his staff receive hundreds of intimidating and harassing emails and phone calls daily because of how terrible things have gotten. The judge and his staff are subject to frequent security drills where the Threats Assessment Unit must implement new protocols. A flood of hateful threats allegedly ensued after Trump's statements in the courtroom. On multiple occasions, the ex-president voiced his disapproval of the court, Arthur Ingeron, and an associate who provides legal counsel to the court during the civil fraud trial in New York. Physical threats and letters containing racist, sexist, and anti-Semitic slurs have been exchanged in response to former President Donald Trump's public attacks on the judge and staff of the New York City court where his civil fraud trial is being heard. A court security officer swore in an affidavit that they transcribed hundreds of threatening and harassing voicemail messages into over 275 single-spaced pages after Trump criticized Judge Arthur Engoron's principal law clerk in a post on October 3. Trump's lawyers have requested a state appellate court remove gag orders that prevent him from criticizing the judge and court staff at Manhattan's New York County Supreme Court as the trial enters its third month. Lisa Evans, Engoron's attorney, wrote in a court declaration on Wednesday that she strongly opposed removing the orders when the appeals court stayed them last week. Evans provided Court Systems Threat Assessment Unit Officer Charles Holland's affidavit. Holland said Engoron, his family, and colleagues received pre-trial threats by email, phone, and social media. He said threats rose after Trump's October 3 post. Trump published a photo of attorney Allison Greenfield with his Democratic opponent, Senator Chuck Schumer, and claimed without evidence that Greenfield was Schumer's girlfriend and was manipulating the trial. Even though Greenfield advises and assists Engoron, Trump's team has blasted her for giving the judge her notes during hearings. A rogue judge dislikes Trump. Trump told reporters in October that his co-workers up there despised him most. Holland reports frequent harassment, insults, and anti-Semitic remarks against Greenfield. Greenfield told him she receives 20-30 calls on her personal phone, 30-50 messages on LinkedIn, social media, and 2 personal email accounts every day. Holland warned Engoron and Greenfield of actual threats. Former President Enger was fined over $15,000 for his gag order on October 1. Meanwhile, the US government issued another gag order. An appeals court is reviewing District Judge Tanya Chutkan's Trump federal election interference ruling. Guy's biggest Trump update. His attorneys overturned Judge Engoron's gag order. The Court of Appeals issued a stay on November 27, Newsweek reported. You know what? Before joining Truth Social, Trump blasted the court an egg for fraud. This gag order has long barred Trump from criticizing court officials. Trump received 2 sanctions for breaking it, per Raw's story. Trump accused Judge and Attorney General Letitia James of fraud in a Truth Social video. Trump alleges that his assets are severely undervalued. He says Mar-a-Lago is worth significantly more than $18 million. Trump's legal issues challenge Seth Meyers. He described Trump as a scowling jungle monster on late night as he leads the Republican presidential nomination despite litigation. According to The Guardian, 21 of Democrats detest Joe Biden, making him unpopular. People smiled when Myers quipped about Trump fans' zeal. He claimed that Trump's supporters would support him as a communist. Myers said Trump rally-goers come to hear him shout about windmills and celebrities, not policy. He termed these events the wet-collar comedy tour. Myers highlighted Biden's issues and one-party support. Trump's federal election subversion indictment was astonishing to the New York Times' Maggie Haberman. Seth Meyers said it's ludicrous to imagine a major presidential candidate will be in court every day of the general election. These were not the Founding Fathers' goals. Updated Donald Trump's media business dealings. 20 news sources were sued by Truth Social, Trump's preferred social media site. Lawyers say these organizations lost a lot of money distributing platform falsehoods and want $1.05 billion. Bloomberg stated that Trump's media and technology company TMTG, which owns Truth Social, filed this enormous lawsuit on November 20. They claimed these news outlets manufactured missing numbers. TMTJ, at Truth Social's merger partner, Digital World Acquisition Corporation, misrepresented itself in a regulatory filing. Many media sites, including Reuters, have corrected their reports. Media outlets like The Hill, Rolling Stone, the Miami Herald, The Hollywood Reporter, The Guardian, and Reuters have complained. TMC's Sarasota County complaint claims these news companies conspired to harm its brand and finances. Ty Cobb, a former White House counsel who has criticized Trump, has branded him a damaged narcissist. CNN's Erin Burnett Cobb said Trump's narcissism might land him in prison. Despite not believing his first or second gag breach will challenge Judge Tanya Chutkin, he expects Trump will continue to try. Cobb expects the court to sustain Judge Chutkin's limited gag order in Trump's federal case, reports The Hill. His apparent efforts to stay in power after losing the 2020 election to Biden are the issue. 3 Democratic-nominated judges are reviewing Trump's gag order repeal request. Share your opinions while we wait. If this video helped, thumbs up. Thanks for continuing the political response until we meet again.